Okay, welcome. It is Tuesday, February 20th, and this is Bottom of the Barrel Comedy Showcase at Shakers! Yay! Shakers is located at 3160 North Clark, near Clark and Belmont, near the Belmont Brown Line, Red Line, Purple Line stop. We're right next to a little Mexican restaurant that I don't know that one too well, but I knew the one that a drag queen would occasionally host. I am your host, Thomas Bottoms. We do this comedy show once a month. It's the third Tuesday of the month. We've got a great setup here. And as you've been warned, the show is going to be aired on the radio on AM 1680 Q4 Radio, AM 60 Q4.org. I am your host, Thomas Bottoms, and I have to warn you, this is a comedy showcase. You're expected to come here and tell jokes. This is not a roast, because I am so horrible. A roast would be like shooting fish in the barrel, or apparently high school students in a hallway.
Too soon.
Too soon? Okay, I'm sorry. I thought we had moved on from outrage to indifference, or had we reached the part where we're scolding everybody for making gun control a political issue? Where are we at? I don't know. I am thankful that our great president found time off of his weekend golf game to travel 45 minutes to visit a school obviously closed on the weekend. The man doesn't like people talking bad to him. I don't know.
Thomas, I have a quick question.
Oh, yes, Phil.
You said wonderful president. Did we get a new one since Trump?
Well, thankfully, this episode's going to end March 3rd, so we do have, technically, 11 days to get a new president. I don't think it's going to happen. I would hold my breath, but it only would turn me blue.
Well, no, you said our wonderful president.
Yes,
That's why I asked.
Yes. Goodness, What struck me about the school shooting is apparently the shooter had to take an Uber to get to the high school to shoot it. And I am disturbed that he couldn't get a driver's license, but apparently he could buy an AR-15. Of course, I'm in Chicago and I try not to drive because whenever I play Grand Theft Auto, people just start having PTSD moments about my driving. He doesn't look when he turns corners. I turn corners so fast that people close their eyes, and so do I. People ask me, how do you view driving? I'm like, gas pedal, brake pedal, try not to hit anything. They have concerns with the word try. But someone was surprised because the shooter, this one didn't die. He didn't kill himself. He actually got arrested. And they're like, why is the shooter going to have a trial? And it's because that is part of the U.S. jurisdiction that you're right for a fair trial, unless it's under the hashtag #MeToo movement. Just to let you know, when we bring everybody up to take our photograph in front of this camera, usually because I'm 6'1", I would stand in the back, and if we need a huddle, I would put my hand on someone's shoulders. That's not going to happen anymore. I'm going to promptly stand in the front, cross my arms, and just scowl at everybody. No one's going to Al Franken me, okay? You're not going to say, oh, you grabbed me by the waist in front of my husband during a public campground, was it state fair photo opportunity? I never knew love handles were in a erogenous zone, but here we are. That's not going to happen to me. And it's going to be interesting to see where things go, because like the FBI, things have gotten so bad that their directors are now quitting to go work at Walmart.
God.
I don't know if I'll ever work at the FBI, but I have about 30 years to get it to Walmart. So it's been an interesting year. This is usually the Bottoms of the Barrel is a music show. I do officially own more Debbie Gibson CDs than I own the Beatles.
Wow.
I stand by my choice, I do. Lord knows if the guy had chose to walk into a high school with a taser gun, we could have really sung Electric Youth. I started out 2018 with a positive attitude. I was singing It's a Fine Day by Opus 3. Not a great day, not a good day, it's a fine day. Within a week, I had moved on to Lebanon Hanover's song Gallows Dance, with the great uplifting chorus of Let's dance the gallows dance as long as we're not hanging. Let's dance the gallows dance because the string is always waiting. I don't know if we've become happier since then. Last week was Valentine's Day. I sent a lot of people a happy VD. Some gay men responded, I don't have to worry about VD, I'm on PrEP. Good luck with that one. Good luck with that one. So, I forgot my list on the table, but we're going to bring up our first comedian. This gentleman is nice enough to stop by. He is actually performing at the Laugh Factory tonight. He's been around. I don't know much about him. Give a round of applause for Brad Kaufman.
What's going on, everybody? How you doing? All right. I'm glad to be here, actually. I had kind of a rough day. I woke up this morning on my twin mattress, and I thought to myself, Brad, what have you done with your life? Nothing. So I said, you know what? Don't be upset about it. Do something. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to get a piece of paper and write down a list of all my goals. So I took that paper, I folded it in half, then I poured marijuana into the crease, and I feel so much better, man. I feel great. I really do. Anybody smoking here? Fantastic. I'm glad. Good for you. Yeah, man. It's been an interesting year, to say the least. The country's pretty crazy. Clap up if you think America's pretty nuts right now. We all can agree. Yes, the loudest noise this room will make. Yes, I agree that the country is pretty crazy right now. Now, I don't know if you know this, but right now there's an issue that doesn't get talked about much, and it's that currently, in 2018, there is still a show on TV called Naked and Afraid. Do you know that? It's still on. We haven't canceled it. I don't know why. It's crazy. It's actually on its 8th season. I don't understand it. Well, I do, because it's insane. So if you don't know what the show is, what it is they get two very unattractive people, and they make them go into the wilderness for 21 days. First they have to go get naked, and then they have to go get afraid. And my favorite part about the show is no prize. There's no prize to go do that. I don't know where we're finding these people, but I do, because I've been to Walmart in Indiana, but still, there shouldn't be this many of them. There's like a line to get on this show. It's insane. Anybody here from Indiana? Good. True story about a Walmart in Indiana. I went in there once and I asked the guy, I said, hey, just curious, why are the guns right next to the diapers? And he said, convenience. Good for you, Indiana. Good for you. Good for you. Yeah, good for you. Oh, I made a very adult decision today. I decided, you know what? I'm going to cancel all my credit cards. I did that. Yes, thank you. And yes, one clap. That's what it deserves. I did it for myself. I didn't do it for you. So why would you clap, I guess? But I canceled them. I called Chase and I said, I would like to cancel my card. And they said, okay. And I said, okay, please cancel it. And they said, you're actually not allowed to do that, sir. And I said, that's crazy. I took this card out. I've been paying it monthly. And I would, at this point, like to cancel it now. And they said, sir, we can't let you do that. And I got very angry. And they said, sir, the reason you can't cancel this card is because you owe $5,782. I said, I know, that's why I want to cancel the thing. And Becky was very rude to me. And I informed her I did not like her tone. and they took $25 off my next payment. So hey, that's what you do when you don't get your way with customer service. You say, "I don't like your tone, ma'am," and you keep saying that actually until they take $25 off your next bill. If they don't, you ask for a manager, and then you decide at a certain point you don't like their tone. I actually don't like when people. I work in sales, and people often will just. People think they can just treat you like the cable guy. It's not fun. They just yell at you until you take money off. I'm not going to do that. Why would I do that? But I expect it to be done for me. One time I went. This is a true story about me getting money off of a bill. Sprint called me, and I guess I had like outstanding charges from an international call. I don't know. I owed $42, and I didn't want to pay it. I also didn't have it, but I really didn't want to pay it. And it was on the Super Bowl, and they called me that morning, and this was my excuse. I said, "Look, man, it's Super Bowl Sunday, and I don't want to deal with this right now." Charges waived. Apparently, Super Bowl Sunday is a valid excuse. Got very mad that he was bothering me on Super Bowl Sunday at 11 in the morning, by the way. The Super Bowl wasn't even happening. But, yeah. What was I talking about? Oh, we were talking about Indiana. Walmart's in Indiana. Yeah. It's going. Oh man, that's what the guy said to me after I asked him where the guns and diapers were at the Walmart in Indiana. Verbatim, by the way. And I said, "I'm so glad I don't live here. I'm so glad." I got a dog recently. Anybody here love dogs? Couple of you? Yeah, that's awesome. Dogs are great. I've decided though, after having a dog for a while, first of all, my dog's great, but there's two things about having a dog that I don't love so much. And one of them is my dog just feels the need to lick every homeless person's face. And it's disgusting because he licks my face, and I just can't have that. And if you're like, "Yeah, that's bad," go lick a homeless person's face then. That's what I say to you. That's what I would say to you in that situation. But it's frustrating for my dog because my dog's very upset about it. He's like, "Dude, where else am I going to get pizza, crap, jizz, and syphilis all in one lick? That doesn't exist except on this dude's face." And I'm like, "I get that, dude. I'm so sorry." And he's pissed because that's like white truffles to dogs, man. I basically told my dog he cannot make a reservation at Girl and the Goat, and he's very upset with me because it's super hard to get a table. He's not a happy pup. But yeah, that's one thing I really discovered I don't love about having a dog. And, I joined the gym today. That's a thing I did. Thank you. Thank you. I also quit the gym today. That's another thing I did. I'm done. I've had all the weight loss I want and need, and I'm going to exercise no more, is the main point of that. But one thing about being part of a gym was I signed up for this particular gym because it came with 5 free physical trainer exercises, which I need because I'm not a self-motivator. I try to be, but it doesn't work out. Like I used to try and do it on my own. I quit way too early. But I would watch these YouTube videos on things like Navy SEALs did and like went through to like make it through the training, and it's pretty incredible. Like they have to like stay awake for 5 days and run 100 miles, and it's unbelievable. And they'll like talk about like how people were losing toenails and they get hypothermia like 3 or 4 times, and it's usual. And what they say to themselves is, if it doesn't suck, we don't do it. So I said, you know what? I'm going to start saying that. But it felt really dumb saying it as I was on the low-impact elliptical machine. It just didn't have the same effect. So I signed up for the personal trainer. And what I didn't like about it was he yelled at me a lot, which I assume was his job. But I also am paying you, so I don't know at what level the yelling is okay with me. But he kept yelling at me that I could rest when I'm dead. Why? How about when I'm done? Why can't I rest when I'm done? Why do I have to be dead? There should be a lot of time between when I'm dead and the end of this workout. Like, I don't understand. What do you know? What do you know, personal trainer man? What aren't you telling me? You mysterious fortune teller, drill sergeant man? I don't know. I feel like there was a hidden message in there. I'm going to get out of here on this. I'm getting out of here on this. Thank you so much.
Yeah! Brad Kaufman, everybody, give him a round of applause. Yes. Brad, I commend you for joining a gym and quitting a gym. I do. I've never had a gym membership. I'm one of those, I buy the equipment. So I've been working out on the elliptical at home while watching pornography. Because I like to set realistic body goals. No, aim lower, aim higher, I don't know. Give a round of applause for Jason, our bartender tonight. He's serving us some $3 domestic bottles. We've got $4 well drinks and $4 Jaeger and Fireball shots. I'm a fan of vodka. Vodka's my little black dress. It goes with everything. Don't test me on that. Don't test me on that. Yeah. Some people thought, oh, vodka prune juice is like sometimes you're desperate.
Pile driver.
That's called a pile driver?
Ew.
We learn something new every day. So, a vodka prune juice is a pile driver, everybody. That's one way to get things moving. And we're going to continue this show moving. We're going to bring up our next comedian. It's my first time working with him. And he's wanted to be brought up by the name of Bounty.
No.
Bounty. Bounty, everybody. It's Bounty.
Wow, thank you. Thank you. All of you. My name is Matt Boutros. My friends all call me Booty because it's short for Boutros. It has nothing to do with my incredibly flat and shapeless ass. Or, excuse me, posterior. So, I'm here because I want to tell every single one of you that you are loved and that you are beautiful and wonderful people just as you are. That's really, honestly, I stopped being a defense lawyer for 10 years so I could live my purpose and tell everybody that I come across that they're loved. And it's way crazy if you're doing it in the subway. This is not much better, but and it's I'm way too generous with my physical love to be a preacher. So I mean, I really like to share. Definitely not somebody who could be a preacher, but I do want everybody to walk around feeling that they're amazing and special. And let's be honest, I'm pretty amazing. So everybody in my world is pretty freaking awesome. And so you walk around feeling that way. Now, I didn't always feel that way. I mean, this isn't recent weight. This is, I mean, I'd like to still be able to call it baby fat since I've had it since I was a baby, but I just don't think it works that way. So, I mean, I remember being that kid, like, honest to goodness story, if I'm trying to come up with what are my most embarrassing moments, I'd have to start with, I was in 7th grade, and I was that kid in gym class who not only couldn't make it up the rope, okay, but we were doing the high jump bar. Do you all remember the high jump bar, the Fosbury flop, any of that stuff? You know, so yeah, all right, come on. I was the kid that broke the bar. Landed on the bar and just snapped it like a pencil, okay?
Oh, God.
And there wasn't money in the budget for a new high jump bar, okay? Like, they didn't have budget for new pencils, let alone new high jump bars. So, I mean, there's a lot less ways to get popular, you know, a lot easier ways to get popular. But I had friends because my parents only let me hang out with other Egyptian kids. I was raised in a Coptic Orthodox household, and I don't know if you've ever heard of anything like that, but that's super traditional Egyptian Christian. Okay, it's like they're super fundamentalist, conservative. My parents have the religious intensity that you can only get by growing up in the Middle East. For real. And one of my only friends growing up was this kid that I grew up with whose mom was also Egyptian, and my mom was friends with. I wasn't allowed to be friends with kids whose parents my parents didn't know. So my only friend was this little Muslim kid who was awesome. He was my best friend growing up. And he was my homie. Like he also wound up being the first penis that I put in my mouth much later. It's a very different story. But I remember one time we got into a fight, and I did not know, and only burn that I could think of was to turn to him and be like, well, at least I don't worship the Prophet Muhammad. That did not go over well. Okay, that did not go over well, because he had one tear, one single solitary tear coming down his cheek. And then he got on top of me and said, I have to kill you now. And he meant it. And he put his hands around my neck, and he started to choke my neck. And I had to fight him off, and I fought him off until he ran up the stairs crying from the basement and ran out the door and ran home. And my mom was like, what did you do? Why did he leave screaming? And I was like, Mom, I'm sorry, we got into a fight, and all I did was say this, and all of a sudden he did this. And my mom was like, man, now I'm going to have to explain to his mother why you're such a dick. And I was like 6. I didn't know any better. I was just saying what I heard at home, you know? And, you know, it's funny, for having immigrant parents, my parents were incredibly racist. And, you know, it happens. It happens. Nobody was as good as my parents were in their church and their race, and everybody else was not doing it right. And you know, it's okay. It is what it is. But I feel a little bit selfish. I'm sitting here talking about me the whole time. I kind of want to just say some things about what's going on in public policy or what's going on currently in life about this gun shooting or whatever.
Do it.
Is there anybody else? First of all, I'm going to say this. I'm very much civic-minded. I was a public defender for 6 years before I went on to be a private criminal defense lawyer. And all I did as a defense lawyer was defend hippies on drug charges. At a very, very, very specific practice. My phone number was 855-LAW-4-420. That is not a joke. That is not a joke. I went from music festival to music festival and set up a booth and talk to kids about their civil rights, and that they have the same laws and protections in their tent as they do in their house, and so if somebody wants to go in their tent, they need a warrant, and you have to stand up for your rights. And I went there and was doing that, for years. Okay, I mean, I'm very, very much civic-minded. So this next sentence, it may not come out like a joke, and it's not a joke. But does anybody else think that 19-year-old kid who shot up that school, does anybody think that kid would still be alive if he were black?
No.
No. Sorry, it's just the truth. I mean, I just happened to watch Tambourine, Chris Rock, and it brings it all to light right there when you see somebody talk about injustice, and see somebody talk about the inequity in police shootings, and all of a sudden, and then you see somebody who just mowed down a bunch of innocent kids, and the kid was caught up on a fence. They didn't know if he had a gun. They didn't know what his situation was. He could have had a gun and pulled it right out of him, but he was caught on a fence, and they helped him off the fence. I honestly I can't think of any other situation where that would happen. It really blew my mind, and I guess I just want to say I'm sorry to the rest of the world for showing that kind of crappy example of how we treat people. And I still love him, and I love all of you, and I love all those families, and I guess that's just my time. I love all of you. God bless.
Back Boutros, everybody! Bring it on the booty! Yes! We're gonna keep it moving. We're bringing up our next comedian, Stephen Hoover.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Keep it going for your host, everyone. I'm happy to be here. It's good to be here for everyone on the radio at a completely sold out show. It's completely sold out, right, radio? For those of you on YouTube, just ignore that last joke. It's not for you. It's not for you guys. Everyone's doing well. Man, it's gonna be hard to follow the sweetest booty I've ever met. He was just like, I love you guys. Thank you. You don't know me, but I appreciate it. So you were a lawyer and you would just go to music festivals and talk to, that's real? Man, you might know my little brother. Like, I'm not even kidding. He does the same thing, except he's the drug user. He's the guy there. Yeah, so, man, it's good to be here. It's so rainy today. I had a weird day. I had Netflix ask me 4 times, like, if I was still watching today. Those were one of those days. That was one of those days for me. I don't know. I'm at a weird point. I was at work the other day. I'm a server during the day, and I was at work, and it was kind of slow. It was in the middle of the week. And I was just standing there, and I kind of caught myself daydreaming. You guys ever do that? I just caught myself daydreaming at work about giving up. You know, like just about being done. Like I just want to be done with everything. I don't know. I just really want to just give up, just be done with it all. I think I've been talking to my dad too much because all he talks about is giving up, right? He calls it retirement, but it's the same thing. That's really all it is. Like, that's just a different word for giving up. Like, he's just, like, retirement, they're like, okay, you're 65, like, you're done, like, you can just be done. Like, congratulations, we'll throw you a party, like, it's awesome, you can give up everything you've been doing your whole life, screw it, you don't have to do it anymore. I do that at 29, everyone looks at me, they're like, what's wrong with Steve? Like, what's going on? Is Steve depressed? No, I'm not depressed, I'm just advanced for my age, you guys, that's all it is, that's how I feel. I don't know. They say you gotta, like, have money, like a ton of money to just go away and be done and sit on a beach. I think about what it would be like if money was no object, like these rich guys, like these super rich guys, like Elon Musk, you know, like that guy, he's gotten to a point where money is no object for him, for like his goal in life is to die on Mars. Like that's all this guy wants to do. He's taking all of his money, like last week he shot a car into space just because he felt like it. Like he's just like, look what I can do. Like, and I don't want to get to that point where money's no object for me. Like I don't need that kind of money, but I would like to get to a point where money's no object, like rich enough to where like I can just go to the movies and buy any concession I want. You know, like that's as far as I need to go. Like I just want to be able to go to the movies and be like, yeah, $12 pretzel, yeah, absolutely, sir. Money is no object. I want the $12 pretzel. Actually, you know what? Let's make it 3 of those $12 pretzels. Let's make it 3 of those things. Make sure they're salted too, because money's no object, sir. Let's get that going for me. And you know what? Let's add one of those $5 cups of hot cheese. You know that hot cheese that if it was in my fridge, I might confuse it for a yogurt. Let's get one of those things going. And make sure it's scalding hot on the outside and ice cold in the middle, so when I dip my $12 pretzel, I can sear my flesh and heal my wound at the same time. Can we go ahead and do that? Is that cool? That's like where all my goals surround food. That's where I want to get to. I'm turning 30 this year. I'm turning 30 later in the year. Yeah, I'm excited about it. Like I'm like cool with it. Like I feel like it's gonna be a good age for me. Like it's weird because I know some people my age that like they still want to be younger. Like I went to my 10-year high school anniversary a couple months ago, and I was talking to this girl that I hadn't seen in a while, and she's like, "Can you believe that we're gonna be 30 this year?" And I was like, "Yes, that is how age works. Like, and sequentially, yes." She's like, "But it's okay. Like, it's okay. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you know what? Because I heard that actually 30 is the new 20." And I was like, no, it isn't. No, it's not. You are not 20 years old. We are not 20. You are 30. We are 30 now. We are all 30. Let's be 30. Like, it's fine. Like, we can just be 30 years old. Like, nobody ID'd you to come in this bar. Like, you are not 20. You are 30. Like, it's weird to me. Like, I feel like being 30 it's a good point to get to because it's like the first point in your life where you can start to use your age as an excuse for things you don't want to do. You know, like you can just be like if someone's like, "Hey, do you want to do this shot of Malort?" You're like, "No, man, I'm 30 years old. Like I do not want to do that shot of Malort at all." someone, if you do that when you're 20, they're like, no, I'm 20, they make fun of you. But I'm 30 now, so you know what, screw you. Yep, that's my new joke, so thank you guys for dealing with that. I'm in a relationship. We've been dating for 4 years. We moved in together this summer, and I was happy to move in with her. I was excited to move in with my girlfriend. Because the thing is, like, before I lived with her, I lived in a studio apartment by myself, and now we just moved into a one-bedroom. And before we moved in, everybody asked me, they're like, Steven, are you excited to be living with your girlfriend? Like, are you excited? And I'm like, yeah, of course. Of course I'm excited to be moving in with her. But what I'm really excited about, like what I'm most excited about, is finally moving into a place where I have the ability to walk into other rooms. Super underrated activity, you guys. Don't take that for granted. I've learned a lot since I moved in with her. I learned about portions when it comes to food. You guys know portions? Apparently, if you don't know portions, I just found this out. What you do is you make enough food, right? You just make enough food. Then you eat part of that. Then you put the rest away and you let it go bad in the fridge for a week. And that's a fun activity to do with your significant other. I don't know, it's weird. Like, a lot of my friends who aren't in relationships, like, I let my girlfriend go out on her own, like, with her friends. And I'm like, I think it's great, like, because I don't have to worry about her. I'm like, it's fine. And they're like, aren't you worried about her cheating on you with another guy? Like, isn't that a worry? And I'm like, absolutely not. I'm not. Because I know I'm not. She's not going to cheat on me with another guy. I know that because she refers to, I've heard her refer to me as her partner, right? Like, I've heard her say, Steven is my partner. So I know if she's going to cheat on me, it's definitely going to be with a lady. Like, she's already got the lingo down, you know? Like, it's definitely not going to be a guy. It's going to be a lady. And I'll be like, all right, fair enough. Fair enough.
I would too.
Yeah, right? Yeah, it's cool. If that happens, I'm just like, congratulations. Like, you can have the apartment. Like, here's my half of the rent. Like, enjoy your life. I don't know. We're at that point in our relationship. I said we've been dating for 4 years now. We're at that point in our relationship where all the sex we're having is scheduled sex, which is very exciting. Because I'm very excited about this because I spent so much of my life having no sex on the calendar. Just to have it on the calendar is very exciting. Like, I know it's gonna be 2 times a week. Like, it's always 2 times a week. Like, maybe 3 times. You know, like maybe if I sneak one in on a Sunday and then I don't start the next week until Monday, you know, then it's like 3 times. But like the other day she texted me, she's like, you gonna be home Thursday night? Like, you should make sure to be home Thursday night. Like, you should be home Thursday night, you know. She sent me a winky face and I was like, oh no, I know what this text is. Like, I know what's going on here. So I text her back, like, I'm all excited. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll be home Thursday night. I'll make sure to clear my schedule. I'll be home Thursday. Don't you worry. I will be home Thursday night. I texted her back, and immediately she texted me back, oh boy. Because maybe I got too excited. Like, I don't know about you guys, but if it's been a couple days or it's been a while, I guess, guys, we get a little, you know, like, it's a little excited, you know, there's a little too much excitement, and I think it came off, like, she called my bluff, you know, because she asked me, next question she asked me, she's like, when's the last time you masturbated? And I was like, oh no, she knows, like, she knows it's been a while. So I texted her back, I was just like kind of flustered. I was like, I'm masturbating right now, like, I'm doing it right now, like, it's already happening, like, don't worry, it's not bad. And she texted me, she's like, aren't you at work? And I was like, yes I am. And so I'm free Thursday night. If you guys know anything going on, you know, any bar trivia or anything cool to do, anyone wants to hang out, I'm free. All right. That didn't go anywhere, but thank you.
Yay! Steven Hoover, everybody, give him a round of applause. Yes. Steven, oddly enough, I hope things go well with your relationship. Last year, 2 guys that I wouldn't say dated, but they visited a couple of times, both married women. I have no clue what I did right or wrong, but they both married women.
My parents will give you $1,000 if you'll date me.
Rent is due, let's talk. I have 8 days to make rent. Wow. Round of applause for Steven Hoover. I had a horrible economics teacher in high school who hated the word suck. And so we had to always say Hoover. until she thought she could step to me on the day I was getting expelled, and my mouth ran the fact that she was 4'10", her husband was 6'8", and I said, "Oh, honey, you're the perfect height." Oddly enough, it wasn't an expulsion. I was invited back to get expelled again. Slightly true story. On the flip side, I don't eat Skittles, so don't feel justified killing me. Our next comedian, he runs an open mic every Tuesday. He's part of a trio, I guess, of running the open mic. He's made a visit here. He runs it at the Den. Give a round of applause for John McCombs.
Thank you. Last weekend I did a show at a VFW because I'm a former Marine myself. Yay, functional alcoholism. That's what it is. I got out of the Marine Corps last year, and I would always feel weird when people, like on Veterans Day, would tell me thank you for your service. I didn't really know what to say back. I would just be like, well, thank you for the free Applebee's. That's why I do it. One mediocre hamburger a year, honestly. I will take a handout. I watched 12 Years a Slave 5 times with different white friends because I needed to borrow money. I mean, I was stationed in North Carolina, and I kind of missed it. No, I hated it, but the one thing I missed about the South was Waffle House.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I miss, not for the food, I miss the shame you get from eating at a Waffle House. It's nothing but, nobody at a Waffle House is at a good point in their life. It's just people who didn't get laid that night in ex-cons. That's it. That's the only people at a Waffle House. I wish they would like embrace that, they would put the shame in like their menu items, like a waitress comes up like, okay sir, I'm gonna get you started with a drunken mistake platter, side order country fried daddy issues. Like, well, what comes on that mistake platter? Your choice of hepatitis A, B, or C. Throw some fresh buttermilk broken condoms for you. How's that sound? Of course, we all know the real reason you go to Waffle House is just to see drunk strangers fight each other. Yes. Waffle House is the setting of every single World Star hip hop video. If you ever see a video of a pantsless stripper throwing a chair across the room, it's at a Waffle House. I think a lot of things we need to fix in our country. A lot of things going on. One thing, voting reform. I think we need voting reform in this country. In the last election, half of all eligible Americans voted. And that is way too many. I have seen what you guys put on Facebook. Most of you have zero business voting. I had to explain to a grown man, if you print out a GIF, it doesn't move on paper. That guy has just as much say who gets to be president as a doctor. Like, voting should be like a point-based system. Like, if you share an article without reading it, you lose a quarter of your vote, you know? Like, if you are over the age of 20 and you still go see the Fast and Furious movies, you lose your whole vote. It's gone. It's gone. I think the most selfish people in the world are people over the age of 80 who vote. What are you doing at that point? Like if the biggest threat to your health is a firmly shut window on a hot summer day, you don't get to decide who's president. Like, that's it, man. And I'm not gonna act like it's not gonna happen to me one day. Like 60 years from now, they're gonna be trying to pass like robot human marriages, and then I'm the one shaking my fist like, it's not natural. It's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Siri, you know. Valentine's Day was last week. I was single for Valentine's Day. I broke up with my girlfriend at the beginning of this year. She got too comfortable in the relationship. You know, like she farted herself awake. Okay, that's what happened. like it was a little too, like the bed shook. All right, like we were spooning, and she just looks back and like gives a little like like that wasn't gross. Like you're a monster. I can't deal with you now. I don't know. I really broke up with her, I think, because she's younger than me. I'm into older women. That's my thing. Yeah, like younger girls have this annoying thing about them called hope. Just can't deal with it. You know, this older women are just they're sexier. They have better things. Like nothing is sexier to me than a minivan. All right. Like, look, don't knock the Dodge Caravan until you banged in it. It's great, man. Plenty of leg room, you can stretch out. You can watch Shrek afterwards. That's amazing. My ex was white. You knew that looking at me, though. It's like, look, I get it. I get, like, I'm too approachable. That's my problem. I feel like several times I've been out at night, coming home after going out to bars, and a random drunk girl will ask me to walk her home, and that's just insulting to me. It's like, really? Nothing serious? Like, come on, give me something here. But every time I've dated a white girl, she's always wanted to give me a racial pet name, like Black Bear, Brown Sugar, and Toby. Yeah, but it is Black History Month, so give it up for that. Yeah. I know how woke you are about how many days it takes to go see Black Panther, so get on it, guys. Get on it. No, I find it funny. Every great moment in Black history is also a really terrible moment in white history. Like Rosa Parks, great moment for Black commuters, terrible moment for white bus drivers. Or Brown versus the Board of Education, great moment for Black students, terrible moment for white student athletes. Just want to be at that gym class the next day. Hey Corey, we know you've been our starting center on the basketball team for the last 3 years. But we're gonna get one of these Negro kids to try. Hope to shake hands with hope I'm pronouncing this right. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Yeah, that's good. What else is going on? So I've lived in the city for less than a year now, and I like the things about the city, like public transportation. Like I took the red line at 2 a.m. last weekend because as I like to call it, playing Russian roulette. It's great. It's like, am I getting home okay, or am I getting someone's bodily fluid on me? I don't know. Let's find out. I actually have a conspiracy theory that the auto industry hires people to act crazy on the subway. Like they tell them, like, look, you don't have to do anything crazy. Just sit there for 5 minutes. And then just every once in a while you just get up and just go, what the hell? And sit back down. That's all. Look, don't stab anybody, but don't make them too confident they're not going to get stabbed. Just don't feel that way. I actually ran into my favorite guy to run into on a subway, the guy who raps out loud for everyone. Yeah, because I want that guy to get discovered that way. And that's like his VH1 origin story. Like we're doing an interview like, yo man, there I was, sitting on the brown line between this old woman on the air tank and this homeless dude that smelled like doo-doo. My kind of audience. So I started laying down my rhymes for all these people that don't want to make eye contact with me. Who should sit down across the way? Yeezus, Kanye West. He's like, hey yo man, came over here to tell you to shut the hell up. But I like the way you make all the people on this train uncomfortable. How'd you like to make $1 million? Yeah. I'll get out of here on this. I do shows overseas sometimes. I've done a couple. Going over there, they have different stereotypes in Eastern Europe. I was at a gas station in Romania, and I was standing in line, and a woman comes up behind me, sniffs me, looks to her friend, and gives her a thumbs up. I'm like, what does that mean? Well, she's like, they do smell like cocoa butter. Wow, that's incredible. I actually did I went to this one place in Eastern Europe where it's not even technically a country, it's a territory. And I will not exaggerate when I say I'm the only person of my entire race in this whole country. So historically I have to conquer it. But anyways, I'm walking down the street and like, I was treated like a celebrity. Like, it's the only place I've ever experienced black privilege. Like, when random women were coming up hugging me, like, I gave an interview at a rap show I wasn't performing at. And I found out there were other black people in this country. A couple Nigerians played for their soccer team. They thought I was one of them. But I didn't want to give up this black privilege. So the last day I was there, one of the Nigerian dudes comes up to me. I'm in a club. I see him walk in. He's like, tell me, brother, what position do you play? I was like, look, man, I'm going to be honest. I'm your new coach. And he just kind of smiled at me. He's like, It's okay, brother. Enough of the TV though, man. This is awesome, right? Alright, that's my time. I'm John McCombs. Thank you.
John McCombs, everybody, give him a round of applause. Yes. I've never come up with pet names for guys I've dated. I did one time go on a date with a guy, and he's like, "So, Thomas, you want some hot chocolate tonight?" And I said, "Only if you can handle this salty cracker." I went home alone. Now, our next comedian, her ears perked up as soon as she heard that someone was interested in older women. But she's as young as I am, and she's one of those perfect height girls. Give a round of applause for Kate Cullen!
Damn straight, kids, I'm old. Yeah. I mean, somebody was telling me, I'm 30. I'm so old, I'm 30. It's like, dude, 30 is like a baby to me. I turned 51 in June, 51. Woo! I got a ARP card. So I can use it as a Waffle House. Take the ARP card. Man, Waffle House is awesome. But IHOP, just as dirty and nasty as the Waffle House. Love it. Anyway, so my thing is I'm a cougar. I like younger men, but I don't have money. So I'm like a stuffed cougar. Just, got some Monopoly money in my pocket. Hey, little boy, want some boardwalk, huh? Okay, yeah, guess I did not land that one. Been watching a lot of this Olympic figure skating. And I love it when people look at the skaters and say, when people look at comedy and say, oh my God, that's so brave, I could never do that. Tell you what I could never do, I could never do a triple axel. I watch skaters and I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing, I'm really tired. I just watched a bunch of skaters. Yeah, I have no coordination, I have even less discipline, so not gonna see me in a kiss and cry. You might see me crying, but anyway, another reason I could never really do any skating. You guys, I have a lot of fears. I'm afraid of accordions. Yeah. Getting up in front of people and bombing doesn't faze me. But I'd be really scared if you all had accordions right now. Yeah. Horror movies, not scary. But Lawrence Welk reruns will keep me awake at night. I'm not afraid of the zombie apocalypse, but I'm terrified of the zombie Oktoberfest. I am not afraid that Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un will get in this huge fight and push the button and disintegrate us all. But I'm deathly afraid that they will each learn to play the accordion. And that's how all political debates will be decided until the end of time. You guys, I'm not afraid of getting jilted at the altar once I finally tie the noose. I am afraid that my man, my beloved groom, will leave me waiting in front of my lovers and friends and have me dumped by a mariachi band. I am not afraid that I am going to grow old and die alone in my apartment and be discovered when my cat has eaten my face off because I'm alone and no one missed me. I'm afraid that my cat will learn to play the accordion. And then she'll play the accordion for me all day. And then I'll be so sad I have to kill myself. And then everyone will find me dead in my apartment, after days, and my cat will have eaten my face. Okay, that's something I'm very scared of. Accordions and intimacy. So that's why I'm a slut, don't have to worry about intimacy. If you screw them before you know their name, you don't have to worry about relationships and commitment. Yeah. then my sister, Mother's Day was recently. No, it wasn't recently, but Valentine's Day was. And people always tell me Happy Valentine's Day because I'm a girl. And I always get told Happy Mother's Day on Mother's Day. And I tell people, like, I just have a cat. It's like, yeah, you have a cat. No, having a cat is not the same as having a child. I did not keep Delilah in my belly for 9 months and then give birth and have pain. And if I left her at home alone to poop in a box while I went to work and went to open mics and shows, I'm pretty sure that the DHS would have a problem with that. DCFFs or whatever the hell you call them, they would have a problem with that. Okay? They would. Yeah, now, God, Paul, this is awesome. They have a lot of apps right now. They have, this thing called Saucy. It can take alcohol to your home. No more shame of going to liquor stores. Just call Saucy. Bring it right to your home. Nowadays, if you want to get laid, back when I was slutting it up, you had to go to a bar and dress up and shave your legs and all that crap, Now these kids today, they got the Tinder. The Tinder, it's like Amazon.com for dick. Swipe right and boom, dick just shows up at your door. In an Uber. Yeah, when he's done, he leaves in the same Uber. It's beautiful. I'll tell you the app that they really need. They need an app for that says when you go on a date, exactly how many times you have to go on the date before you put out. Because we wonder too, it's like, okay, if I go 2.5 dates and I let you screw me, then, oh my God, I'm a slut, you don't respect me. But then, if I go 3.5 dates, oh my God, I'm such a prude. You can get it elsewhere. Bye. Like, what the heck? So every guy just, there needs to be an app that'll just scan you and say, okay, you look like you're okay with the first date. No, you gotta wait 6 months. Gay. I know, because he is. Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to end up by telling you guys this. I do suffer from bulimia and ADHD. So I binge eat, clearly, but then I get distracted and I forget to puke. Gosh darn it, if it wasn't for squirrels and shiny things, I'd be a perfect size 0 right now. Okay, I'm Kate Cullen, that's my story.
Kate Cullen, give her a round of applause. Kate Cullen is also one of the co-producers for, is it A&K Comedy Production?
AK Productions.
AK Productions, they do the third Friday showcase here, Comedy Kills.
That's right.
It's a free show every third Friday of the month. Round of applause for Kate Cullen. I agree with Kate in the turmoil of online dating and the apps. Apparently now you're needing to send out body parts so someone can come see you. And like I'm a Z-level celebrity, so I picked one that I thought looked like mine and I sent that one out instead. Because I have a body double. A dick deception, if you will. And now they've taken it to the next level where they will now send you a solo video. So I am now seeing a climax to a movie I'm not sure I wanted to watch. And the fact that it was only 30 seconds long wasn't very promising. I guess it's different in the heterosexual world. Y'all don't have that. There's no. Okay. I don't need to know your business. I really don't. I watch enough Fox News. We're good. Could you imagine if that's all you do about heterosexual life was watching Fox News? We're going to bring up our next comedian. It's a guy I've worked with off and on over the years. I'm glad he's here. Give a round of applause for Phil Burns.
Thank you, Thomas. Well, tonight I'm gonna break tradition.
Uh-oh.
No Trump jokes.
Yay!
For now. Was it you ever talking? Are you going to be 30 this year?
Yep.
You don't know what getting older is all about then. Are you
I'm
going through the aches and pains when you wake up in the morning?
saying it's great. I'm not feeling old at all.
Shut
That's the
up.
whole point.
You're not even close to being old yet.
I know.
Now, I know some of the people in here are up around my age, and I'm not talking about within a year or two, I'm more talking about a decade or two. Right? Eddie? Sorry.
Yeah.
But when you get older, you start having to have weird tests done. Like when guys hit 40, they have to have a prostate exam. Yeah, and have you ever had one?
Only no.
Okay, the way it's done is a doctor tells you. I have one done every 6 months because I went through cancer 5 years ago. And what you have to do is drop trow, and the doctor sticks his finger up your butt to see if your prostate's swelling. Now the thing is when you're having that exam done, make sure you don't see both of his hands on the exam table. That's never happened to me. Thank God. And another one is when you hit 50. That's the fun one. That's what I fondly call the Star Trek test. That's where they go around Uranus looking for Klingons. But what they do, I just had one last year. And I started thinking about it. What they do is they take a camera that's strong enough to see Pluto, but all they do is see Uranus. And I've had about 5 of them done since I did 50, and I'm over 50. I don't have to have another one done for 10 years. But I was wondering, when they're doing the exam takes about 30 to 45 minutes. But I'm wondering is when they're finishing up, is it like a Jack-in-the-Box where you hear that, dun, 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 and the camera comes out, pop goes the weasel. I don't think I'm going to have them done anymore. But yeah, once you start getting, and my regular doctor told me that I have to give up coffee, or I should give up coffee. I looked at her and asked her 2 questions. Is your malpractice insurance paid up? And do you want to be accessory to murder? I got to have my coffee. And I just got a pound of what's called biohazard coffee. I drank that at 10 o'clock this morning, and I'm still wired. Yeah, 30 ounces. That's all it took. Yeah. I have one of those, they advertise them on TV, the 30-ounce cups where it keeps drinks cold for 24 hours, hot drinks cold for I have one of those. And it works. I don't drink cold drinks. I drink coffee, and I actually filled it with coffee one day. I went out, completely forgot about it. And this was I filled it up about midnight. I saw it. I was going to dump it out. Damn, there's still coffee in it. And it's still hot. And I couldn't sleep because I drank the damn coffee. No, that's the thing about coffee. I can drink a pot of coffee. I can go home right now, drink a pot of coffee, and I can go to bed within 20 minutes after I'm finished. I'll get up every 15, 20 minutes in the middle of the night, but yeah, I'll go to sleep right away. What else? I check my notes. You know, when you get older, you start losing your yeah, that. People, now, Thomas, you've taken some trips, you and Mike, to Europe and that. I love flying. I've gone to Italy a couple times in the last 5 years. Love flying. Big thing is, if you go to Europe, don't fly Lufthansa Airlines. The crew that works Lufthansa is proof that the crew that works Lufthansa is proof that the Gestapo is not gone. And speaking of the Gestapo, if anybody works in Glenview, you notice the geese walking around? Don't go near them. They are the Gestapo of the bird world. I like that joke.
I actually like that. Could we stop? Because they are vicious little buggers. I mean, you go within 15 feet of them, they'll start honking and running after you. And I learned the hard way, don't go within 15 feet of them. But anyway. Oh, and another thing about flying is they always, the crew thinks you're stupid because they have to give that stupid instructions about how to put the seatbelt on. They have the two pieces of thing are standing up. You put one end in the other. Like, gee, kind of like having sex. Put one end in the other, right? If you're that stupid that you don't know how to put a seatbelt on, take the train or a bus. And another thing about flying, every time I fly, I always try to get a window seat or an emergency exit seat. That way, if the wing falls off, I'm pushing the door open. I'm going to start flapping my arms. I may not make it, but what the hell? I'm going to try. And the other thing I hate about flying, those whiny little brats. That's why they have luggage compartments. Give them a blanket and some oxygen, they'll be fine. And I'm going to give it back to Thomas Bottoms. Thank you very much.
Yay! Phil Burns, everybody, give him a round of applause. Phil, I'm a member of the ACA. The prostate exam's not covered under ACA, but it's okay. I'm getting some freelance opinions. We're gonna keep it going. Our next comedian, we filmed a TV pilot. We'll see where it goes. Hopefully, it's not the Playboy Channel. Give a round of applause for Shy Brown. Yay! Jacket.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Bottoms. How's everybody doing tonight?
Yay!
I just want to say that I feel very good tonight. I've been on Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, Chicago Med, Empire, Shameless. Thank you. As an extra, background extra. I couldn't talk. Every time I got excited to talk, they told me to shut up and just take my $80 and go home. I'll get paid in 2 weeks. Sophia Bush was like right here, and I tried to talk, and she said, "Don't talk, you're an extra." She didn't say that, but I was just being extra. So, have you ever been so broke that the only check you got was the reality check? I am broke. So tonight, when I leave tonight, after spending all my money at the bar, you gotta treat yourself. Does anyone agree? You gotta treat yourself, right? So tonight, I'm treating myself to some white rice with seasoning salt for dinner, and some sugar with white rice for dessert. But I just want to be woke. It's 2018. I want to be woke like my best friends, Lenny, Kenny, and Benny. Lenny is now a vegetarian, Kenny is a vegan, and Benny does coke. So Benny stays woke. Reading a text message from Benny, he misspells the words tired like try. Tired like try. So reading a text from Benny is like, "Oh man, y'all going out tonight, man? I don't know, man. Man, I'm so tired. I am tired. And I worked out last night, man. I'm tired." So everybody please excuse Benny. He's been arrested for drowning a fish as well as getting caught with 2 kilos of cocaine. Don't nobody even care about Benny. Benny stays woke. A lot of people are getting cremated nowadays. Not because it's cheaper. It is cheaper. But because everyone doesn't go see their loved ones, at the burial sites. So I just can't get cremated, man. It hurts. Like, if I get cremated, it's gonna hurt me. Like, hey, man, this hurt. Don't cremate me, man. I'm being my little dead body. Like, this hurt. I'd rather just be buried. I want to come out. I want to see who came out to support me. You know, if I die, like I want to die, like I want to outlive everybody at the hospital. Like everybody come to see me for like chemo treatments and stuff. I want to like outlive everybody. I don't want to like just die. I want to like play basketball stuff while I'm dying. I want to outlive the high school team. They go to NBA finals. I just want to outlive them. You know, I just want to be like a superhero person that never died. You know. That almost died and semi-died. Any R. Kelly fans in here tonight? Okay, so R. Kelly, he got this song called In the Kitchen. That's like my favorite song. There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Ignition.
No, not Ignition. No, it's In the Kitchen. He's like, cutting up tomatoes, fruits and vegetables and potatoes. Right? So like you can use that line in any situation. Like it could be like a Messiah about to die and his protege, he want to pass the torch to him. I can't go on anymore. You have to fight the fight. I can't do, sire. Yes you can. What did I always tell you? What did I tell you to do? What should you be doing? Cutting up tomatoes, fruits and vegetables and potatoes. It could be like a death scene, like a homicide, and two detectives like watching the body. Yeah, witnesses said that before he died, he was cutting up some tomatoes, fruits and vegetables, and potatoes. It could be a cat and a dog. Yeah, so I like that song. That song is like so cool, man. But shout out to everybody following their dreams. I'm sure everyone in here is following some type of dream. Thank you for clapping over there. I was a delivery driver, and if anyone, I don't know if anyone in here knows what sciatica is, but I know what sciatica is. It's like a sharp electric shock that hits your right butt cheek all the way down to your right foot. So imagine doing deliveries while having sciatica. No, I didn't know who that. Like, shout out, thank you for agreeing. I was delivering something one time to this lady, and it hurted so bad, and it was like all this stuff in the truck while I was delivering it. It was like all this gray stuff, and I get to her and I was like, ma'am, some of the stuff in the box, this gray stuff, was falling in the truck. And she's like, oh yeah, that's mama. Just put this on the counter. Put the rest of it on the counter. I was like, okay. So yeah, that was that. How much time do I got left?
I'm about to light you.
Are you about to light me?
Here you go, 1 minute.
Oh, 1 minute? Okay. Yeah, so I was delivering to my girlfriend because she had broke up with me. And I was delivering to her and her new guy. So like half of the pizza I put like poison and stuff on it. And the other half I put poison and stuff too. So so I was like, I hope y'all enjoy this because it's gonna be a real good meal. I wish you the best. And she's like, thank you so much for just moving on. And he's like, thanks man for moving on. And then on the news in the morning, I found out that the Bulls finally won 20 games. Thank you, that's my time.
Yay! Shy Brown, everybody, give him a round of applause, yes! Shy, we have not played the In the Kitchen song on my show, Bottoms of the Barrel, but we have played Half on a Baby, and we're going to play the Two Punch, the Sparkle, You Better Be Careful What You Say to Me, followed by the R. Kelly reply of When a Woman's Fed Up.
Oh, yes.
Now, what gets me about that song, Kitchen, because she's cutting all those ingredients and everything, is multiple times in this song, the woman's in the kitchen and apparently owns no clothes. Little did we realize until it was revealed that R. Kelly had like all these women in prison in various houses that like the song was based on facts.
He was hazing, yeah.
Oh, he was hazing those women is what he was doing. Okay. So Shy Brown, everybody, give him a round of applause. Watch Empire, look for him in the background. or shameless and look for the black penis. I don't know. I don't know if you've gone that far. Our next comedian, she is actually going to be on my radio show this Saturday, which is going to be February 24th, because this show is airing March 3rd. And she is a huge Beyonce fan, and she's going to defend her diva to me, because I don't think she knows who I am. Give a round of applause for Michelle Alley!
Hello, everyone. I will keep my Beyonce fandom for Saturday. But I just want to say real quick, did you guys catch Fergie, the national anthem?
Yeah.
It kind of screwed me up all day, I just have to say. I've been talking to my therapist. I get stage fright sometimes. And the thing that I always try to work out, what's the worst that could happen? What's the worst that could happen? That is the worst that could happen. She had to apologize. She had to apologize for just doing her thing. And you know, all of her friends were like, that is perfect. Do that. Do that. And then everyone laughed at her. Oh my God. Sorry, that was a side note. Really messed me up. So have you guys taken your selfie today? Anyone take a selfie a day? Keeps the modesty away. Gotta take your selfie. And there's a trick for the perfect selfie. You gotta get the angle up here, and then say prune. 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 Do it. It's perfect. Cheekbones. But you know, girls or women, we get a lot of crap from people like, oh, contouring. That's not really what your face looks like. Okay, guys, beards. I know you're hiding your weak chin under there, so that's okay. And also, guys, baseball hats are equivalent to Spanx on girls. Because once you take that shit off, you don't know what you're working with. Sorry. Yeah, so there's a selfie sticks. Those are popular. They're banned in a lot of museums, roller coaster rides. You know, I just think you're using the tripod incorrectly. But that's just me. But it takes selfie to a whole new level. There is a vibrator with a Bluetooth camera on the end for the ultimate selfie experience. But if texting starts to resemble a colonoscopy, I'm not into it. Not on T-Mobile. Not on that network. So yeah, I'm going to be turning 32 in a couple weeks. I know I'm still a youngin'. But this is the first birthday that feels like an adult. Like at 30, 31, that was cool. I'm still young and feeling it, but 32, that seems like an adult. And so I've been, you know, I'm nostalgic. I'm a 90s kid. I want to live the dream of being an innocent kid. And I know I'm not the only one because last year there was Adult Sleepaway Pizza Camp. It was in Minnesota, and it was a camp where adults go and, you know, do summer camp stuff, eat pizza, be trendy. So yeah, Adult Sleepaway Pizza Camp, pretty cool thing. It's also my new nickname for my depression. So I've been at camp for a lot of years. Yeah, but part of the reason why, you know, the depression's kicking in is I quit drinking 3.5 years ago. So thank you. I still sometimes take part in the MMP, marijuana maintenance program, but you know, it works. But when people hear that I don't drink anymore, they kind of assume I'm a goody two-shoes. And that's just not correct because I have a rap sheet and I've definitely barfed inside a fridge, so I know how to party, right? I definitely know how to party. And I like saying I'm in recovery because it's very, you don't know what I'm recovering from. I like to just leave it, I'm in recovery. It's very mysterious, slightly heroic. I like it. But I'm still a party girl at heart. You know, just slightly more self-righteous now. So it works out. There is a show that I'm sure a lot of you guys know. It's called Drunk History. Yeah, it takes humanity's triumphs and successes and through the eyes of a drunk person. And I was like, hey, why isn't there one for stoners? They've been around. Yeah. And then I realized we do have that show. It's called Ancient Aliens. Yeah, the truth is out there. But it's kind of interesting not drinking anymore. I was a binge drinker. I wasn't the type of person that had, 40 in the gutter in a brown paper bag. I've done that. That's, not a normal thing. Is that binging is very popular now. Everyone binges on Netflix and binges on YouTube. And yeah, I just really like that the mainstream knows what it's like to avoid all responsibility and go on a bender. So welcome to the club. I love it. Yeah, and also since I stopped drinking, food, that was my first addiction. And I know I have a problem when my food diet resembles the president. I love to hunker down in bed at 6:30 with a cheeseburger. Yeah, that's a problem. But McDonald's, that's the ultimate drug dealer. It's on every corner, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, service with a smile. It's crazy. But yeah, so I've always been big. I've never been a Mrs. or a junior. I was never petite. Yeah, I was always this size. I never had a my size Barbie growing up. That bitch just wasn't. But I'm also that annoying person because I also have a glandular problem. I can't help it, I do. It's Hashimoto's, which I kind of like because it sounds like a Japanese restaurant for robots. So that's pretty cool. But it's kind of hard. I get a lot of backhanded compliments. I was told that I had the body of a fertility statue, which is the ultimate backhanded compliment and the original mom bod. But it's hard to explain to people that there's this fat phobia out there because traditionally fat people are not a marginalized group. You've never heard of rounding up fat people to be slaves because for many reasons that's just not a good idea on a few different levels. But here's an example of the kind of microaggressions that we deal with. Target, this was in 2013, they had kind of a controversy. There was a dark gray dress available in regular sizes and plus sizes. So normal sizes, it was listed as dark heather gray. As soon as you went above a size 12, the name switched over to manatee gray. That's a sea cow. Yes. What kind of 50 shades of passive-aggressive bullcrap is that? Right? But here's the thing. Throughout many cultures, throughout time, manatees were mistaken for mermaids, so thank you. And also, I have to go really quick, but I know it's hard for guys, too. Guys, if you like big women or big bodies, it's hard. You gotta act like you don't. You gotta be shamed. For example, I went to a sex shop, and they have two types of blow-up dolls. Seems cool, diversity, right? No, the straight size one, they're called love dolls. You can love them, right? But the bigger plus size blow-up doll, they're called party dolls. You can only party with them, right? You gotta wait until you're super wasted on Jaeger bombs, text her a blurry scroll photo, and then just hope for the best. Meanwhile, your love doll, you better book that Groupon getaway. And you better go to the farmer's market and bring her with, and then on Sunday, you can introduce her to your mother. Ah, love dolls, but just guess what, fellas? She was faking it every time. Thanks, guys. I'm Michelle.
Yay! Michelle Alley, everybody. Give her a round of applause. I can relate to being in a part of a very pencil-thin community called Twinks, and they would call me Heifer. I always said, no, I'm not a heifer, I'm an overgrown hooker. I prefer that one. But I do want to draw attention to people speaking out on things, that apparently the artist Lorde, a lot of people spoke out about her bad acne. And she had to correct them, and I'm proud of this because my acne was so bad in high school. My nickname was Freddy Krueger, and I am so glad to start that movement of free the pimple. Free the pimple. We're gonna keep this train wreck going. Our next comedian is Eric Schwartz.
Wow. I have to admit, I was kind of nervous, coming out here. But somebody gave me great advice. They told me to just picture everyone I see naked. I worked fine until it started to interfere with my day job, though. Drawing characters of children in the park. But things are looking up. I just got a new dog. I named him Roofy because he won't stop humping people when they're asleep. Is anyone here from somewhere?
Woo!
I never know why people are so proud of where they come from. I'm not. I mean, if you can only see my mother's vagina. It's a real fixer-upper. No, I gotta tell you though, you people make me sick. Just medically speaking, like you guys get diseases and then they get passed on to me. I don't know why I'm talking about so much dirty stuff. I'm not good at it. Like, I don't even feel right spanking the bottom of a Mrs. Buttersworth bottle. I especially don't feel right making Aunt Jemima watch. And syrup humor. No, but it's weird, my shyness. Like I don't even like getting undressed in front of my goldfish, which is kind of unfair because he's been, I've been seeing him get naked for years for free. So I got him one of those black tinted fish tanks, but now I don't remember if I ever even had a goldfish or just a big black shiny box that smells an awful lot like a dead goldfish. Things worry me today, though. Like, I feel like we're not worrying enough about certain things, like blind people. Like, you ever see them with the dogs? I'm not sure the dogs are taking them to where they need to be. Like, one time I followed this blind guy and his dog one day. It wasn't hard. And, I followed them, First they start off, they go to the dog park, right? And then, they go to the pet store, pick up some treats. And then this dog, he takes a sharp left. And, he starts to head to one of those dog brothels that just opened up downtown, And then the blind guy has no idea where he's going. And I wait till they're done. And then I follow him again, and then the dog goes to yet another dog brothel, like a competing one across the street. And I just want to make everyone aware of this business. I have huge stakes in it now. I don't know, I've been trying to think of things to do. I'm trying to go to more funerals recently. I just went to my grandfather's funeral. And, speaking of cremation earlier, it's weird. I guess what they, like, my grandpa, he did an open casket, but, I did everyone a favor and closed it. It wasn't because he was, like, ugly. It was because what they do now, if you get cremated, they'll just start it halfway, and then so you can still see them. But they did it wrong. They just kind of did it, like, vertical-wise. And so he just kind of looked like, like when you draw somebody in an Etch-a-Sketch, you don't quite shake all the way.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been floating between jobs now. It's weird, because I've worked for so long. Like, I got my first job when I was 2, working at a newspaper factory. And I remember it was always weird because, like, I used to get all this paper ink on my hands, and I'd wipe it off on this cloth, and, it would kind of look like one of those Rorschach ink blot tests. And I'd taken my boss, I go, hey, what do you see? He goes, I see a worker wasting my time. I said, nice try, it's my parents having sex. I'm going to need that cloth back. No, it's weird, like, now, when I was younger, having jobs, it used to be cool because you work with teenagers, they weren't successful or smart. And now, like, the kind of jobs I get, it's all felons. And, they have, like, real records. And, like, I don't really have one. Like, the worst thing that I did was, like, I spent 6 months in a Renaissance Festival jail. I don't know. I think it was fine, like, Like one day I went to the shower and my bracelet fell off and they wouldn't let me back in. But no, I think like my best job was I used to work at a Blockbuster Video Entertainment. You might remember. I remember I did get fired though, because what I did was I sort of took the store security tapes and put them on the shelves for people to rent. You know, and some of them were pretty popular. You know, but you know, like you'd see like certain ones like, you know, man who looks an awful lot like Brendan Fraser rents 2 Brendan Fraser movies. That was a favorite. But I remember the exact moment I got caught. Somebody came up to the register and he wanted to rent a video of himself renting a video of himself. I said it wasn't in yet. And he stormed off and I yelled, "Cut!" And he turned around and said, "What?" I said, "Nothing." And then, you know, that's the story. All right, thank you guys. You've been great.
Yay! Eric Schwartz, everybody! We're going to keep it moving. We're bringing up our next comedian, Brandon Murray! Yay!
Tim for Thomas Bottom. How about this weather, guys? That's universal. It's not great, right? It's dark and wet, and the city smells like a damp basement. One pro of that is it's far less depressing to live in a damp basement. I have a lot of topical humor, but I'm disappointed to hear that this is not airing until March 3rd. So I kind of have to forecast the news. Will you guys bear with me while I do this? I have come up with some potential future news that Thomas has already spoken to me about this. We're going to edit in or out of my segment of the comedy show on News Radio 1726. Are you with me?
Sure.
Okay, that tepid enthusiasm is what you get into the business for. But let's humor me and let's try these news stories out. These potentially real news stories. We're gonna try them out right now. Did you hear about that corrupt Chicago politician? Man, is Sean Hannity pissed? Did you hear about that racially charged incident somewhere in America? Man, is Sean Hannity pissed? This is the last one, but I think this is a likely one. Did you hear about that incident where a gentleman got caught fornicating with a goat in the southern portion of the nation or along the Appalachian Trail? Man, is Sean Hannity making an incredibly in-depth look at the issue of animal husbandry, and really, it's quite nuanced. Okay, I just wrote that here. So I just wrote that here, but I feel okay about it. I don't try at this if it's not obvious. How are we doing? We're doing okay? Do I still have your approval? Well, that's what I'm here for. So that's good. I would like to talk about social media. I'm trying to get off social media. I can't entirely get off of it because I host a comedy show, somewhat like this one, BLT Comedy on Thursdays, the Beer Bistro. You should come. But I can't get off it. It is, if you do comedy, and a lot of you do, it's kind of the currency, it's the communication medium, so I'm stuck with it, but I hate it, and I hate it because of what it's done to our self-esteem. You know, it used to be homemade. We created our own self-esteem, and now in the age of social media, that's not the case anymore. It's a vehicle for validation. I don't think that's healthy for anyone. Let me give you an example. Yesterday I logged on to Facebook and someone typed in big block Facebook letters across one of those Facebook billboards a bit of a rhetorical question. The question was, why is dating so hard? Well, that is clearly going to be specific to that person, right? That's going to be about their circumstances. But I can make some inferences even though I don't know them as well as I'd like. You know, I could say that the fact that you're asking that question of your 1,144 Facebook friends may indicate that you don't have a great grasp on social norms and appropriate messaging. So that's what I said. I typed it in there. And then I continued, I'm sorry, Mom. It's tough, but it had to be said. P.S. I think Dad can see this. And he confirmed it now with his words with an emoji. It was this one. That joke's gonna play really well on the radio. This is a new one. Setting low expectations. How many people in this room are fairly native to Chicago?
Woo!
Okay, so this could potentially work. but maybe it's just poorly written. We'll see. A guy I worked with recently got in one of those Ancestry.com tests where they take your DNA, you send it in, and they tell you what you truly are. I think it's kind of a weird thing to do. I also think it's a waste of money. I said, tell me what your parents are, and I'll give you an outcome that's likely to your DNA. And he said, well, my dad is Southside Irish, and my mom is Northwest Side Polish. And I said, well, good. That makes you Naperville racist. Did not work so good in Dubuque, but it might work here. It might work here. I'm 33. Someone recently told me this is my Jesus year. It's a strange thing to hear. That's like saying my flight from O'Hare to Dallas is going to my JFK destination. Then you get to Hertz and they only have convertibles and you're really fucking freaked out. Calling my Jesus year, it's just made me very, very skeptical of my 12 best friends. I don't know about that guy. I'm not a believer, but I really hope I'm wrong. I think it's a good story. We all like a comeback story, if you will. And I hope he does come back under one condition. I hope he comes back as what he is. I hope he comes back as a 2,200-year-old Jew, essentially Mel Brooks. And I hope he comes back to where his followers are most fervent. I hope he walks into a Golden Corral in Edmond, Oklahoma, and begins turning breadsticks into fish fillet, and Mountain Dew into Franzia or Boone's Farm. Whatever kind of mood he's in that day, maybe he's feeling cheeky. Jesus feeling cheeky, that's not really. I hope he goes on the interview circuit then, and I hope he talks about what is a true issue, as it is with many great performers. Whether you believe in him or not, you can either agree, you can say he's a great performer. The guy's either the greatest magician of all time, or the greatest storyteller of all time. Both are impressive, right? Okay, maybe not. And I hope he talks about what is the real issue, which is he had a pretty shitty stage parent, right? God was a dick to him. It reminds me of the villain dads from all those Texas football movies. You could be me, or you could die trying. But Jesus actually died trying. That didn't happen to Tim Ricketts. You know, it's different. I was recently bullied by an 83-year-old man. You might call him an asshole. I'm going to call him Grandpa. He came up to me and he said, "Hey, big fella, how much do you weigh?" Well, that's antagonizing. I know how to handle bullies. I didn't answer the question. And him being what he is, he took the social cue and he started guessing. His first guess for how much I weigh, 190 pounds. There's a few chuckles in here. I think we all can agree I do not weigh 190 pounds. It's comically low. His second guess for how much I weigh, 320 pounds. What happened to middle ground in America? I could be Dustin Diamond on Saved by the Bell or Dustin Diamond on Celebrity Fit Club. Either way, I have a huge penis. That might be as good as it's going to get. Thanks, guys. That was Brendan.
Huge penises.
Brendan Murphy, everybody, give him a round of applause. Your closer could work for a lot of the people here. Unfortunately, our next comedian is married. She is part of the Let It All Hang Out comedy show that's been performing in various places throughout Chicago. She is the leopard lady of comedy, and I want to steal her jacket. Give her a round of applause for Patty Vaccarella.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you so much. And don't try to steal my clothes. I know where you live. I'm at an awkward stage in my life. I'm between menopause and death. I know I am too damn old for Snapchat, but I sure as heck am not ready for Life Alert, in spite of the fact that 10 months ago I got myself a brand new hip here. Full total replacement, because I spent my 20s getting used like a farm animal. People ask me a lot of questions about the hip replacement, and the answer to the question I'm asked most often is no. I don't have any more Vicodin left. And I really wish you would stop asking me, Mom. Oh boy, I'm not going to heaven. Yeah, I know. I was really shocked when I heard that. I am not going to heaven, and I have been told so by a great and powerful authority. The preacher man that used to be in front of the Old Navy on the corner of State and Washington. We all know that guy, right?
Yeah.
The older black guy, he was out there pretty much every day with a speaker and a microphone telling us we're all sinners and we're all going to go to hell. Well, one day I'm walking past, and Preacher Man and I, we locked eyes. He looks me right in the eye and he says, "You cannot enter the kingdom of heaven if you have fornicated." Like, buddy, you're saying that like it's a bad thing. And then I started thinking about it, and according to this guy, if you've smoked even a tobacco cigarette, a plain tobacco cigarette, you're going to go to hell. Well, you know what? If that's the case, I've already got a bunch of people down there. It's going to be great. They're going to save me a seat at the bar of eternal damnation. They're going to have an extra filthy, dirty as you want to make it, Grey Goose martini waiting for me. It's going to have a never-ending supply of blue cheese stuffed olives because I'm not going to give a hoot about my cholesterol in hell.
Yay!
It is going to be sweet. But the best part about going to hell is that I am never going to get woken up at 7 o'clock on a Sunday morning by a gaggle of religious zealots trying to save my sorry soul. I don't know about you, but to me that kind of sounds like heaven. Oh, you guys, I have to tell you, my dogs are really disappointed in me. I've let them down. First of all, I let people walk through my front door every day. I don't sniff one butt. Not one. And then, when I bring something new into my house, I don't pee on it to mark it as my own. But when they try to do it, boy, I really lose my marbles over that. You know, if it meant so much to me, I guess I should have peed on it, right? But I think the number one reason that they're disappointed in me is that when I go to the bathroom, I close the door. I never let them come in and watch me. I never let them see the results. I never let them congratulate me. Did you go potty? What a good girl. What a good girl. You went potty. Good girl, you went potty. I think that's kind of double standard. Now, don't you think that? I think I'm really unfair to my dogs. I'm a terrible dog mom. My Aunt Marie was a wonderful woman. She was so loving. She was married 5 times. She buried all of them. So, of course, when it came time for me to get married, I went to her for advice. Like, who else would I go to, right? And I said to her, "Hey, Marie, I don't know about this marriage thing. I'm not sure I can keep a guy happy for as long as we're together." She's, "Darling, let me tell you something. You need to remember something. Just one thing. All men are dogs, okay? You just gotta find one that's gonna be happy to keep burying his bone in the same backyard." So this is what I always did. When you find your dog, you bring him home, and you cut his nuts off. And then, he gets old, he gets fat, he gets lazy. All he wants to do is lick his crotch all day. And then he dies. Then you go out, you get yourself a new puppy. Honey, you're going to be fine. Don't worry about it. It's going to be great. So I recently did one of those DNA tests. It was pretty good, you know. I was pretty much what I thought it was going to be, but there were a couple surprises. 47% Italian. No surprise there. I knew that. 20% French. That's a little bit lower than what I thought. 14% Irish. That's a lot lower. I was always told my whole life I was half Italian, half French, half Irish. What I wasn't, or a quarter French and a quarter Irish. I'm really bad at math, guys. I'm really bad at math. Yes, I am. I'm not too proud to admit that. I had to blow my teacher to pass algebra. Oops. Quarter Irish, quarter French, and half Italian. That's what I was supposed to be made of, no sugar and spice. I didn't expect this. 13% Scandinavian. Where do you see 13% Scandinavian here. I'm not tall. I'm not blonde. I didn't get those typically huge, gigantic Scandinavian blue eyes. You thought I was gonna say boobs. I didn't get those either. No. There is nothing here that says Nordic princess. Not at all. This more like says mafia mistress. Right? Am I right? All right, well, I have time for one more. Then I'm gonna give it back to Thomas Bottoms. What did the debutante say when she got to the ball?
What?
That's my time. I didn't say that.
Happy Bacarella, everybody. Give a round of applause. We're going to keep this train wreck moving. Let's bring up Harry Lowe. Yay!
Thank you.
Leave it.
Okay, hello everybody. So I hope everyone had a nice Valentine's Day. I hope you fellas did something nice for your ladies. I know I did something special that night. I got 4 fillings. I had a date with my dentist. He and I got together and did some mouth stuff. It was pretty hot. Pretty hot time, but I'll tell you very recently that I am proud to announce that I am dating somebody. She's not here now. She has to be up early, but she's real. She's real. This isn't a girlfriend in Canada kind of situation. It's a girlfriend in the suburbs situation. Why am I dating a girl in the suburbs? Well, I'll tell you, because when I set up that online dating profile, I accidentally forgot to change my dating preference radius to 5 miles. So it defaulted to 25 miles, and that's just my life now. I go to the suburbs, I go to the city. That makes sense. It makes sense for me. Because I'm not just a awkward dork up here. I've been this way my whole life. So of course, after nearly 40 years, I finally escaped the suburbs, lived my dream to move to the city, only to wind up commuting to the suburbs. It's just how that goes. But I'll tell you, you gotta do that for love, right? You gotta do that for. Some of you guys think you would do a lot for love. Well, let me tell you what I've done for love. I once told a girl I might be gay for love. This is a true story. This was 2002. I was 25 years old, and I liked Whitney Baker so much, I told her I might be gay. And this is my genius plan. You see, I thought I'd be throwing down a challenge, and maybe she would try to convince me I'm not gay. But let me tell you, fellas, if you're ever trying to do something like that, I'll tell you, let me be an example. It doesn't work. It does not work. She did not accept my challenge. What she did was she introduced me to her best friend, Tim. A friendly gay man who thought I was cute, didn't think I was gay, until his best friend told her someone said I might be. And I'll tell you what, I'm not gay, but I'm not going to get caught in a lie. So we had quite an awkward triangle going on for a little while. Tim was chasing me, I was chasing Whitney, and she was screwing everybody else. And I know that's not a triangle, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do? But all right, well, I'm 41 years old, which means I'm not old, but I am becoming grumpy. Also ornery. Sometimes I feel so ornery. I realize it sounds like I'm saying sometimes I feel so horny, but that's okay, because both feelings give me an erection. I'm starting to embrace my grumpiness. And if there's one thing I like complaining about more than anything else is kids these days. I tell you, kids these days, they have it too easy. They do, because in my day, I used to have to walk 3 miles each way in the rain, sleet, and snow to get my porn. The kids have it way too easy these days. I gotta tell you, but 40, I know that sounds old. If you're in your 20s, 40 sounds old, but it's not old. And I'll tell you why. Because nature has a way
of letting you believe that once you reach a certain decade, it's actually the next decade that's old. Right? 40 is not old, 50 is old. Right now, there's just a 70-year-old man somewhere, just very glad that he's not some grumpy old Gus like his 80-year-old neighbor Rupert. See? Now, Rupert, he's no spring chicken, okay? But he's just happy that he's not some old crusty sack of balls like his 90-year-old neighbor Heinrich. And now Heinrich, he doesn't hear so well anymore, and he doesn't see so well anymore, but Heinrich just thanks his lucky stars that he's not convicted of his Nazi war crimes. Murdering Nazi bastard. Yeah, if he gets arrested now, he'll just die on the way to the squad car. He's basically gotten away with it, Heinrich. But at 41, I'm trying to eat healthier. I'm trying to take better care of my health. It's not that I don't like healthy food. I just don't like shopping for food. You see, I think we should all just agree on like 5 things to eat, like they do at Aldi. They do at Aldi. But I wait till I have nothing but 1 or 2 things left in the fridge. And I open up the fridge and find something to eat, and it says best before December 27th, 2017. And I think, who am I to require only the best of anything anyway? Who am I? I'm not the Prince of Wales. I'm not Sean Puff Daddy Combs up here. I'm not Sir Paul McCartney. You guys know Sir Paul McCartney? I know who Paul McCartney is. Arguably one of the greatest songwriters of all time. But Sir Paul McCartney? A brave shining knight in armor in the service of the Queen? Come on. Come on, I'm just saying. When your Knights of the Round Table are Sir Paul McCartney, Sir Elton John, Sir Richard Branson, it's a wonder England hasn't been conquered yet. I'm just saying, if Germany decides to invade England again, I don't think blasting the song Candle in a Wind from an airplane with the word virgin written on it in giant letters is going to be much of a deterrent. But I'm going to leave you guys with this inspirational story here, okay? Because a career in comedy, as you guys know, very difficult to achieve, right? It takes a lot of ambition, a lot of determination, a lot of motivation. Maybe you've heard of a little-known comic named Jim Carrey. Well, when he had nothing, he was totally broke. In order to motivate himself, he wrote himself a check for $10 million. And I found that very inspiring. I thought I would do a similar thing. So in order to keep myself going, I wrote myself this check. For $250,000, I wrote this check. Out of my grandparents' checkbook. It's their entire life savings. It's all they have left. And I gotta tell you, if I don't catch a break soon, man, I sure hope they have a lot of ambition, determination, and motivation left in them. All right, my name is Carrey.
Carrey, everybody, give him a round of applause. Yes. We're bringing up our next comedian. She was here last month. She's a glutton for punishment. Give a round of applause for Sarah Manning.
All right, keep it going for Thomas. Glutton for punishment. All right, your torture starts now, everyone. Guys, bottoms of the barrel. You guys, this is airing on the radio. How awesome is that? Yeah. All right, so I was told no F-bombs tonight, no C word, so we are going to have a darn tootin' good time, fellas. Woohoo! Drats. Can't swear. All right, here we go. Guys, I'm starting a singles club, a ski club for singles. Yeah, it's going to be called Last Resort. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let me know if you're interested. I'm currently single-ish. I date a lot, but it's hard to get a boyfriend because every time I'm on a date, they don't want to date anymore when I drop the F-bomb. You know, falafel. I'm a vegan, and like most vegans, I'm also a liar. I do eat free pizza. And as long as there's no upcharge, I'll take some bacon and pepperoni on top of that too. And when I run out of groceries, I just eat my cat, guys. I eat cats. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Didn't expect applause for that, but I'll take it. The thing that sucks about being a vegetarian and vegan though is you get veggies stuck in your teeth a lot, like spinach and stuff. The only thing worse than getting spinach stuck in your teeth is getting kale stuck in your teeth, because then you're just a progressive hot mess. Right? Nothing worse than that. I've also been trying the raw diet.
Ooh.
Yeah. They say that when it comes to healthy dieting, that raw is the way to go. So I've been going raw. And now I'm pregnant. So. A little too raw there. Didn't read the fine print with that one. Guys, I heard that speaking of getting spinach and stuff stuck in your teeth, I heard that dentists have the highest suicide rate of any profession.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's true.
Applaud that. We got some sadists in the back here. Dentists have the highest suicide rate of any profession. So think about that next time you decide to skip the flossing, guys. All right. You could save a life if you just got that nasty ass pastrami out of your teeth. Okay. Be the change. Be the change. Speaking of being the change, I really hate it. This is something I want to change. All right, this segue does make sense. Just hear me out. I really think people should stop complaining and crying to get out of trouble. You know, like I can't stand it when people cry to get out of trouble, like crying to get out of speeding tickets, crying to get out of like bad test grades, things you don't turn in. Cause think about what if terrorists did that? You know, like when they're trying to get through TSA checkpoints. Like, look, I just had a really bad day, okay? And they have like lumpy bombs under their sweatshirt as they're saying this. Like, I want something to go right. I tried to drop off a pressure cooker and some lighters to my friend under the interstate, and I forgot my wallet, so I had to go back home. And this is the third checkpoint I've gotten stopped at today. I forgot like my bag of Christmas cards, and I just want something to go right. And then the TSA agent's like, look, I don't usually do this, but go on. Next time though, I'm not going to be so nice. Trust me, there won't be a next time. There better not be. Have a good one, kiddo. Yeah, we can't let that happen. Thanks, Thomas. Something else I can't let happen anymore, and neither should you guys, if you're like me, is having an unexpected visit from your mom. You guys ever have one of these? Your mom calls, says she's coming to visit? No one? Okay. All right. Well, anyone have a mother in here? Yeah. Okay. There we go. There we go. I recently had an unexpected visit from my mom, and it was pretty traumatizing. So much so that I did what anyone would do in that situation, and I wrote a blues song about it. It's called Mom's Coming Over. This one's from the soul. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mom's coming over. Just got the news today. She sent a text that said I'll be there in 20. P.S. How do I send this? Get out the vacuum. Throw the PBR cans away. It smells like horse piss and pregnancy scares in here. Get my shit together just enough to convince her I'm a lady. Mom's coming over. Why did it have to be today?
bit bumble. I was ready to rumble. Wanted to go out and bring a Kyle back to my place. Yeah. Take my Chippendales calendar down, replace it with that one she made me. Has a picture of her and my dad when they were still married. Happy Valentine's Day. Mom's coming over. What do I do with my grass? Put a skull and crossbones posted on my brownies. Replace the bong water, throw some daisies in there. Now it's a vase. Let's just call it vintage. Knock, 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 here she is. Let's see what she says about my ass. Sure enough, she looks me up and down, and she says, "You've been getting fatter. Is something the matter, honey? I told you I get paid in pizza to do my art. You lost your mind. You're out doing what's it called, the grind. Why? When people ask me if you're my daughter, I just break down and cry. Is now a good time to tell you I don't believe in God anymore?" Hey Chuck, you know that new sound you were looking for? Listen to this. Oh yeah, Mom's coming over. Oh, she's coming over. Yeah, she's coming over. Oh no, baby, she's coming over. Ooh yeah, she's coming over. Sweet Lord, she's coming over for the last time. Woo! Woo! Yeah, Mom? Wait, yeah, Sarah. Would you buy a new guitar if I broke one tonight? Okay. Alright, gotta go. Love you too. Alright, that's it for me, guys. Thank you!
Sarah Manning playing some good blues, everybody! Give her a round of applause! Wow! Give her a round of applause for letting her mama in her house. My mama not allowed to visit. We're gonna bring up our final comedian. It's been a great show. We do this every third Tuesday. It's gonna be at Bottoms of the Barrel, AM 1680, Q4 Radio, Q4.org on March 3rd. Bringing up our final comedian. He spelled his name phonetically. And I don't think it's Hawaiian. Give a round of applause for Mitch Kamaopili.
Thank you. All right.
All right.
I usually start by saying, "How's it going?" But you're fine. Alright, cool, hot room. Good stuff, guys. You guys got any favorite holidays?
420.
Thanksgiving.
420.
Woo! Yeah, Hitler's birthday.
Halloween.
Halloween. Yeah, we already did that one.
Bicycle day.
Hell yeah, dude. There's a holiday for everything now, huh? Anyway, my favorite holiday is the Chinese New Year. Hold on, sorry. Favorite holiday is the Chinese Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Alright. Yeah, pretty cool, guys. Pretty cool. I got fired. Thanks.
What'd she do?
Okay, we'll get there. It was alright, actually. My boss pulled me in his office. He was like, "It's like, hey Mitch, we really like you a lot. I think you're great, you know. So it's tough, but we gotta let you go. If you need anything, though, you need anything at all, just let us know." It's like, "Oh yeah, thanks, man. It's pretty cool. I I could use a job. You guys looking for somebody? Maybe a spot just open up that I have experience in. It's like, oh, ha ha, that's funny. And then I left. It's cool though. I got fired. Okay, so I got fired for showing up late and hungover, like all the time. I was just saying, Mitch, I show up late and hungover to a shift that starts at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Let you guys know right now, I'm a goddamn champion. All right. I go hard in the paint. You know what I mean? Thanks. No, I have a drinking problem. It's alright, man. I gotta figure it out. Gotta figure that stuff out, huh? Right? Remember the clean part? Gotta figure it out. What I really gotta do is I gotta stop drinking alone. Yeah, that's the big one, right? Everybody's like, oh, don't drink alone. That's bad. Don't do it. If you drink alone, you got a problem, and they're right, you know. But it's fun. Anyway, the other day I was drinking alone at Whole Foods. Pretty good time, man. Saw some pretty cool stuff. Actually, I saw a baby with earrings, which I think is great. You know, because what do babies need more than body modification? I think that'd be a pretty cool job, actually. Lady brings you like $40 to stab a baby in the side of the head.